Hello and welcome to another episode of MTV. So tonight we are going to be chatting a little bit more about virtual assistants, and this video is going to be all about my top 3 tools for managing virtual assistants. So number 1 is good old Gmail. So I love Gmail for my business. Regardless of managing remote workers. I love Gmail because it allows me, I can easily forward my domain name address through to Gmail. So for example, m@mboden.com is my official domain name email address. And I can actually forward that into Gmail. You can do this totally for free, or you can actually use the Google Apps, which is, I think it's a yearly payment. It doesn't cost very much, but it's absolutely fine to do it the free way, particularly when you're first kind of starting out, or you may only have one person on your team, that kind of thing. Perfectly fine to use the free version. It works really well. You just need to go to settings and add in, I think it's accounts, forwarding and accounts, and you can add, and so then you can add your domain email so that you can send and receive email through Gmail, which then leads me to the cool functions of Gmail. It obviously then gives you all the functionality of Gmail. And the main ones that I love is canned responses. I love Gtalk, so that's kind of like instant messaging, and actually you can do live calls, although I find the quality a little bit dodgy, but it's a little bit like Skype. So you can use Gtalk. Obviously it connects in with your Google Drive, so where you can store all your Google Docs, spreadsheets, things like that. So again, I find that aspect, Google Spreadsheets and Google Docs, are great for kind of looking at certain tasks that my virtual assistants have done, things like that, and just for using it for shared storage. That and Dropbox are great, but given that Google Drive is all integrated to your Gmail account, it can work really well. Of course, you've also got your calendar within your Google Docs, so you can share, like I often create like an editorial calendar, and I can share just the editorial calendar with the virtual assistant, or possibly like a launch calendar, and you can just share it with them for the launch period and then take it away. And then obviously all of your other different calendars you have for booking calls or services, that type of thing. So Gmail is absolutely versatile, and I've probably only just discussed the very tip of the iceberg there. But of course, Gmail and YouTube are completely integrated, and also Google+. So there's some cool things you can do there as well if you have your VA helping out with any of that stuff. So Gmail is number 1. Number 2 is Asana. So a project management system. Now I have tried a lot of management systems. I love Asana because, so I've tried Basecamp, Ricky, Podio, what's a few others? I'm sure there's some more. I think they're kind of the main ones. Asana, Ricky. Yeah, they're probably the main ones. And Asana I absolutely love because a couple of functions that some of the other ones have or don't have. The one function I really love is the fact that you can actually like comments. So instead of having to write a reply that, hey, I have seen this, you can simply heart a comment. And if my VA does that, or if I do that, they know, or I know that that person has seen my comment, because not always does a comment or a task need replying to an actual message. It just needs to be acknowledged that yes, that has been seen, so that they can either put that information into action. So I really like that aspect, and it's very easy and intuitive to use. You can create sort of copies of lists and of templates and things, so it makes, if you've got repeatable tasks, it's very quick to add those. Again, Asana has a really great free level, so free offering, so you absolutely can get started with that at any time. It also integrates with Google too, so that's really cool. Okay, and number 3, my top number 3 tip is, it was going to be a toss-up between Slack and a program called Zoom, which is sort of like a webinar or a meeting hosting program. And given that Slack is awesome, but it's probably better for bigger teams. So as soon as your team gets bigger, maybe you've got 3, 4, 5 plus people, Slack is absolutely wonderful. If you've just got one or two sort of part-time assistants, then Asana is probably absolutely fine for your needs in terms of that back and forth conversation. So I'm going to go with number 3 is Zoom. And so this is a webinar meeting platform where you can have joint calls with people. Obviously, you can record, you can share your screen, you can record both people talking. And where it comes really in handy with virtual assistants is the fact that you can very easily create trainings for them. So often, there might be sort of tasks that happen on an ongoing basis that your assistant will need to be trained in the first time that they hear about the task. And often there's, particular ways that you like things done. So, sorry, I've got a bit of a cold. It's very cold here. I can't stand it when people just sort of send off a task to, say, a new assistant and expect them to do it exactly the way that they would have done it with all of the bits and bobs and pieces that they want in place, when really, that person has never done that task for you before. How can you expect them to actually do it to the exact level that you want it done? So often a quick video is in order. And so obviously Zoom is very handy for that, because you can, even if you're not actually doing a live call with someone, you could actually just record your screen. I know a lot of if you do a lot of training things, you might have something like Camtasia or ScreenFlow on your computer, but if you don't, then the Zoom.com is a great one to have, because obviously you can also use it for webinars and interviews and any other things that you do. So it's kind of like it does double duty. So there you have it, my top 3 tips. We've got Gmail, Asana and Zoom. So I'll pop the links below, and obviously if you have any questions about them at all, feel free to reach out to me. And of course you can find heaps more great sort of tips using these tools and heaps others in my free opt-in, which is an awesome systems and automations checklist. You can find that over at mboden.com. Anyway, I hope to see you soon. Bye.